Julius, the first question I wanted to ask you was just how much fun was that Big 12 championship game to play in?
Oh yeah, it was man, it's kind of indescribable feeling, man. It was great. You know, man, those type of games you dream of when you were a kid, man, just playing in the big time games, the crowd just electrifying, playing in the NFL stadium. It was nothing like it, man. I was just, I always cherish that moment for sure with my guys.
Yeah, was it a bit special to finish a college career with a big win like that?
100%, 100%, man. Like I said, that's why you play the game, man. It's to win and being in those big time games, man. And that's where you call yourself a big time player. That's when you got to show out, man. So yeah, definitely was a great way to end it.
Now, you go to the Senior Bowl after that. You earn rave reviews from the people watching there. What was that experience like? What was that week like in Mobile?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was a lot, honestly. Just mentally for sure. Just putting your mental welfare is all the way to the test. I would say for sure. Just the extraneous different things we have to go through, like a lot of different meetings. But it was a blessing for sure, man. Just to be able to get that opportunity to go out there and compete with the best of the best. It was great. I just took it all head on, man, and just definitely was extremely grateful just for the opportunity. But yeah, it was a great week.
I wanted to ask you how challenging it is trying to cover those 1v1 reps. There's nobody else on the field. So you've got to try and cover so much space. The receiver can just basically do whatever they want. They can run any route to try and shake you off. Yet you still seem to excel in those situations anyway. So what is that challenge like?
It's a big challenge, man. We call it as it is, man. It's football. It's an offensive game. They don't like to see the defensive guys, get their shine on. So, yeah, it is a little bit of one sided, I could say, in the sense with the one on ones. Just you get any route in the route tree, but ultimately, just your technique. You can tell a little bit about the way guys are lining up, so it can kind of eliminate some of the route tree. And then, man, just having that confidence, just going out there with that swagger and just giving your ultimate best. And I feel like I did that my whole week out there.
There is a lot of buzz about you athletically, and I wondered, you must have seen that video of DK Metcalf jumping to high point the football the other day, right? So do you reckon you could go up and knock
Yeah,
that down?
I'm still trying to figure out if that was real or not. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna put some people on notice for sure this next week with all the numbers. Yeah, so just stay tuned for that, 100%.
Yeah, because the word on the street is that you've got quite an impressive vertical jump. So, are we going to see a bit of a show from you in Indianapolis?
100%. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna show out, and I'm back in my hometown. I'm from Indianapolis. So my mom, she already put a little pressure on me. I got some family that's gonna be there, so it's gonna be good. But definitely, it's gonna be a sight to see. You don't want to miss it.
What is your daily schedule like when you're training for a combine? Biggest job interview you're ever going to have. You want to be at your physical best. So, what's a day in the life of Julius Brents like right now?
Yeah, it's a long day, but pretty much just waking up early in the morning, making sure that next day I'm fully ready to be able to attack whatever it is the task. So getting my sleep, but waking up around like 7 or so every day, getting our breakfast, coming up to the facility out here in HOA, Temple, Florida. So getting our nutrition in, then we hit the field for about 2 hours, come back to the facility, get some lunch in us, rejuvenate a little bit more recovery treatments here and there, just to knock on those little nicks and bruises you may have, and then go into our second lift of the day. Then after that, completely get our nutrition. We do film analysis. So from our reps from the field, we go through that one-on-one reps, watching those. And then, I would say we got a little bit of time, downtime, just to relax a little bit, get off your feet, man, and then do it all over again the next day.
I was speaking to an offensive lineman yesterday, and he was sort of running me through the key drills for his position that he's been told and what he's working on. I guess at cornerback, you've kind of got to be good at everything, haven't you? But are there specific drills or tests that you are focusing on more than the others because you think that's where I'm gonna, make some money at the combine?
100%. I feel like for me, I try to stay away from it, but every once in a while, I do hear some people may tell me about the noise, what people think I'm gonna run. So one thing for me is definitely I'm been focused on is my 40, just making sure I'm fully optimizing that my speed. I feel like I put it on film, but it's a little different being able people to see it firsthand. So I'm definitely been focused on that, and also just the change of directions things. With me being a longer guy, I'm measured out around 6'3" or so. I'm a little bit bigger on the heavier side, about 200 for a corner. That's pretty big. people don't really know how my lateral movement is. I feel like I kind of put that a little bit more on display when I was down in Mobile. But yeah, so you go run some good times for sure. So that's definitely something I've been focusing on: the 5-10-5, the L drill, all those things for sure.
I think can you sort of give the sort of the average man on the street a view on how much preparation goes into a 40? Because I was watching something the other day and it looks as if like your get off, like your technique, just where your arms and your legs are when you set off on a 40, it all has to be right to maximize that. You know, is it a real fine details thing? It's not just a case of you go out there and run in a straight line. You know, there's actually quite a lot of prep that goes into this.
Oh, down to a T. All about the angles. It's almost like with a 40 is about kind of in a sense like geometry, like the way you're exploding out. You want to be a little bit more horizontal, not vertically up in the air. That could take a little bit split second off your time, which is the difference between a 4.5 and a 4.48. So your angles, your foot placement as well. Is your angle a little bit too flat, or is it a little bit more flex, plantar flex, to where you can explode out a little bit more? Making sure you're staying tight in your core, because once you get too high, your head goes back as well. Now that's taking up some time off instead of core tight, relax, pumping the arms. Yeah, down to the little details. Everything with the 40, everything matters. A lot of it is technique. If you're fast, you're fast. You're gonna run a good time. But there's a big difference between one of a 4.48 and a 4.40 or 4.38. So definitely.
You mentioned your size, and people have been commenting on the athletic profile, the size. I wonder, do you look at someone like Tariq Woolen and think, do you know what? That's something I could do in year one. If you get me in the league, get me on a defense, I can have a big year right off the bat.
100%. I know a lot of it is just the right fit. Yeah, I feel like Tariq, he's a great athlete, but I feel like that was one of the right fits for him for sure, and allow him to fully maximize his potential by doing the things he's great at. But yeah, I definitely feel like I can have that same type of impact as well, if even better for sure. Getting in the right franchise. That's the thing about me. I feel like I'm very versatile. Even though I'm a bigger guy, I got a lot of different tangibles that would be fit to a lot of different schemes in the league.
What do you want to achieve in the NFL?
Man, I just want to make my legacy for sure. Making sure that my last name it lasts forever once I'm perished from this earth. And yeah, I would just say just the mentality I have every day. That's something that's going to allow me to be able to do so. So definitely just want to come in, just work my way into the locker room by just being a leader. That guy that works hard. Just the type of person I've always been my whole life, man. And everything else, it'll take care of itself for sure.
I want to give you an opportunity to give a bit of love to a teammate. So tell us a teammate at Kansas State who is in this draft, who you think maybe deserves a bit more attention than they're getting.
Oh man, I could say a lot of guys. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people. We already like you got the bigger names like the Deuce Vaughn, who's small in stature, but one of the biggest dudes on the field. Like it's ridiculous. Like the things I've seen he done. The Figs and DKs of the world. Like he's a beast. You turn the film, his motor and all that. It speaks for itself. But one guy for sure who's definitely not getting a lot of credit, and I feel like he should be, is the guy that's obvious for me that plays corner, Echo Bueno. Um, Crazy, crazy fast. He gonna surprise a lot of people. Uh, don't let him don't let him hear that. I'll definitely tell him I'm faster than him. But yeah, he's fast. Man, hard worker, man. This is his mentality. He definitely doesn't get the credit he deserves for sure. So I feel like people need to be on notice for him as well.
And when you're training, and I'm guessing you're training with a lot of other guys, a lot of NFL players that are going to be in this draft right now. Do you almost like see them as teammates? When you actually get to the draft, are the guys that you've been working with for the last few weeks, are they going to feel, you're going to feel quite close to them as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just the way we've been pouring into each other these past, 2 months now. We definitely have created a family environment. It's fun coming in to work every day, and ultimately just working with the best. So we all push each other. So yeah, I'm definitely rooting for everybody here, and I know it's vice versa for sure.
Couple of final questions. Who are your favorite defensive backs in the league right now? Or maybe is there a corner or a safety even who you think, you know what, I loved watching them? And as I was growing up, as I was dreaming about being an NFL player, that was somebody that I really loved to watch.
100%. Growing up, I would definitely have to say Richard Sherman. Obviously, for his size, he's somebody who I would say in stature, kind of similar to for sure. Just his tenacity, every play, his mentality, his the will he would impose on the receivers, just the way he uses length and things of that nature. Just ultimately just making plays on the football. that's something you want to do when you've been a corner, man, just getting the ball back to the offense. So that's something I love. And now I would say, as the game progresses, some younger guys who, been doing their thing in the league. One guy I like to watch a lot is Pat Surtain. Real good player, very poised, bigger guy as well, but pad level is always good. He's always under control. His fundamentals is to a T. I like watching him for sure.
And then finally, who is the toughest opponent that you faced off against in college? A wide receiver that you played that you thought, wow, that was a real matchup. And also, who was the toughest opponent that you faced at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, that's a tough question because I was transferred, so I played in the Big Ten and I played in the Big 12. So I've seen a lot of good receivers. Throw some names out there like Rashad Bateman, he was a first rounder for the Ravens. KJ Hamler, different type of stature, but speed guy. Just to give you a recent one, the one I would say I played the past 2 years, who was always a good matchup, was Quentin Johnson at TCU. Bigger guy, long speed, but he's real good in the air, not to use his body. He was a good one for sure. And we battled, he got his, but I said I definitely got mine. And ultimately, we came out with the jury. So I'll leave that up in the air for everybody else to debate about. But that was a good one for sure. And what was the next question? I'm sorry. What did you say?
And at the Senior Bowl, was there somebody that you enjoyed battling against too?
Yeah, there was a lot of good guys out there. We had my guy from SMU as well, Rasheed Rice. There's a lot of good guys. One I did like for sure. He actually did end up winning receiver of the week, was Octavian Wicks from Virginia. I would say his release game was a little bit different, I would say, to everybody else. Like, I feel like he has a good release off the line. And bigger body dude as well, but he can move. He was, I would say, probably the best receiver I've seen.